Melody FM 心聆聽新體會早晨，我係汪翠玲。
早晨，我係 Jason 林振前啦。
今日直播室咧有貴賓嚟到啊！Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest this morning. Please give your warmest welcome to probably the most famous boss we know, the boss whom everyone wants to be apprenticed to.
Group Chief Executive Officer of Air Asia, Dan Sri Tony Fernandes.
Ooh, welcome. How are you?
Thank you. Thanks for inviting me.
Tony, it's an honor to have you here. Let us give you some background about our show.
Yes, we greet our listeners every morning in a very Malaysian way. Hey, morning boss.
Morning, boss.
Morning boss.
Morning, boss.
Yeah, but since we are also a Chinese show, we also greet them in Cantonese.
波士早晨 So in full it is
Morning boss, 波士早晨
Morning boss, 波士早晨.
One more time.
Say again.
Morning boss, 波士早晨
Morning boss, 波士早晨.
Not bad lah.
It still has room to
Improve, yeah.
Alright, sorry. Okay, the Apprentice Asia is finally complete and Jonathan from Philippines is now your apprentice. Would you consider him your ideal candidate?
Yeah, absolutely. The boy's got fire. He's got fire coming out of everywhere. And he wants to be hugely successful, but he's confident, he's a good public speaker. There are a few things I like to work on in him, but boy, he's going to be a star.
Well, there's Apprentice Asia and there's Apprentice in the US with Donald Trump. We believe that, Tony, you're a well-traveled man. You've met all sorts of people from all over the world. Can you tell us what the major differences you see between the youth of Asia and from those from other parts of the
Well,
world?
that's a fantastic question. Everyone's asked me all kinds of things, but no one's asked me that, which I think is the most important. You know, I said it in the show, I'm encouraged by the youth. When I saw these 12 guys come up, you've got to respect them. They gave up their jobs, they came into a process which is very hard, they live in another country for 12 weeks. And they came out with a lot of creativity. You know, sometimes Asians are a bit quiet, a little bit, you know, and you think, are we really going to break that mold? Are we going to go that extra mile? And when you see these 12 kids, you think Asia's in good hands. There's a lot of creativity out there, there's a lot of passion, there are a lot of people who want to be different. And I felt great about the show because I saw these 12 guys and girls trying to do things different.
So very hopeful, very promising.
I think, you know, communications and media has changed it. I think, you know, the fact we have so many more radio stations, TV stations, internet has made our kids much more open to the world and much more dynamic and much more can-do. You know, you can read about stories, you can see. Look at my story, right? I used to come here and push records, and you know, Sammy Chang and Aaron Kwok and Sandy Lam and Sally and all these people, right? For your audience,
Yeah.
the type of music, and now I'm running an airline, so anything's possible.
And let's narrow it down a little bit. What do you think about the youth in Malaysia? What are we lacking of?
Well, I think not a lot. I think a couple of things. I mean, I'm a big fan of making sure everyone speaks English. It is the global language. I think our standards have gone down. I think we need to give our kids more confidence. Not just it's about getting 15 A's. Life is not just about academics. Life is about being able to do sport, find culture, talking, communicating. But despite the wrongs and things that can be done better in the education system, I think our kids are in a good place. I do a lot of youth talks, I do a lot of talks at universities, and we're heading in the right direction.
Yeah, but it's good to hear that, and most importantly, they have role models, right? Because from quite a number of episodes, you can tell that you attracted not only potential apprentices, but also a lot of admirers. What do you think they learned from this experience? Of course, other than selling fish in a wet market.
I think they learned humility. I think they learned passion. I think they learned a little bit about leadership. I think they learned a lot about communication. Business is about communication. Business is about getting the best out of your people and being egalitarian, making sure everyone counts. In Air Asia, all 10,000 brains make a difference. A lot of companies, it's the top 10 people, they decide, and the rest are implementers. In Air Asia, everyone makes a difference. Everyone counts, everyone has an idea, it's a flat structure, everyone has my mobile phone number. And so I think they learned all those things. And branding and marketing. I think us Asians don't spend enough on it, and don't value
I
it enough.
agree.
You know, they don't see the value of branding. Because if you spend, say, on sponsoring Manchester United or QPR, you don't see the return straight away. But there's no way we could have gone from 200,000 passengers to 44 million in 11 years without having built a brand.
Well, each and every candidate on Apprentice Asia, they were looking for a life-changing experience. What do you expect to see in Jonathan, and how do you think this experience is going to change his life?
It's going to, well, number one, I think no one knew Jonathan. I think everyone in the Philippines knows him now,
Yes.
and a lot of people in Asia.
Headline last night.
So, you know, I think that's one. He's going to have to cope with fame, which is a big change, right? When you walk down the street and everyone knows you. And being able to handle it well. A lot of people get famous, but whether it goes to their head, whether they are able to manage it, that's the mark of a true man or a woman. That's one. Two is, there's going to be a lot of expectations on him. People are going to expect, so there'll be a lot of pressure on him to develop. So he's going to learn to balance. He's a man in a rush. And I think the biggest learning experience is that time is good, experience is good. You can't create the world in 1 year. And so my big thing to him is he has to slow down a bit and not aim to be Filipino president next year, and take some time. But he has potential to be the president of the Philippines. I can tell you that now.
Yeah, one step at a time.
Okay, yeah, listen, we get it down. He has potential to be the president of the Philippines, all right? Okay, Tony, now you have got your hands in airline industry, hotels, insurance, even car racing, very, very diverse. But I'm sure they all must have something in common, am I right?
Great question. People. My businesses that have been successful are run by great people. The businesses that have struggled, the people chemistry hasn't been right. The lowest being Queen's Park Rangers in football. So I've gone back to my basic principles: get the best people, make sure they work together. The rest is easy.
Maybe there are two here.
Just right in front of you. Well, there's always a mission to be accomplished or a unique philosophy behind every successful business. Like, for example, Apple revolutionized the world with their innovation. Health products help prolong and provide a better quality of life. What is your mission for your businesses?
My mission is, and without sounding like a broken record, is great people. Innovation comes from great people. And Apple isn't about one person or two people or three people. You have to create the environment for innovation. So our companies are very flat. We have no unions. It's a big family. We have the ability to go out and be the best. So my mission is, one, create great jobs. Two, make sure I turn all those raw diamonds into diamonds. That's my main job, to make people believe they can do anything. We have boys and girls who carry bags for us who are now pilots. We're someone in the call center who's become a CEO. So the ability to dream, the ability to achieve is a very powerful force. And if you have 10,000 people working for you that believe that they can do anything, we can. And AirAsia has really done the impossible due to amazing people. So my aim is to make sure I create an environment that can innovate, an environment that people think they can do whatever they want to do, and provide them the tools to be able to be the best.
All right. Now let's talk about fulfilling dreams. I remember when I was young, one of my dreams was to fly, to be able to travel on a plane, because I was born and bred in Hong Kong. Flying means flying out of the country because we didn't have domestic flight back then. Right? Yeah. So you estimated about 50% of the travelers on Asia's budget airlines are first-time flyers. And before AirAsia, only 6% of Malaysians had ever traveled on a plane. Do you think you are helping others to fulfill their dreams?
Oh, absolutely. Look, the airline business is a tough business, right? You're fighting government, you're fighting airports, you have oil price, you got tsunamis, you have everything, right? But every time I get down, I just walk around the airport and someone will come up to me and say, you know, I never thought I was going to fly. Thank you for creating AirAsia. I got a tweet today saying it's the first time I'm going back to my kampong on a plane. Thank you, AirAsia. And that makes it all worthwhile. You know, creating the jobs for my staff, the biggest high. Creating dreams, the biggest high. But allowing someone, just last week, I was walking around the airport and someone, an 80-year-old Chinese man came to me and said, I never thought I could return home. And, you know, you almost feel like crying, right?
Yes.
He was so emotional that he was going back to Guangzhou and his village was about 100 miles away from Guangzhou. And he said, I thought I'd die before I got home to see in China. He left when he was 5 years old or 6 years old. So that makes it worthwhile. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've got goosebumps listening to this story.
Yeah, my tears are almost coming out.
Okay, well, Tony, Forbes Asia valued your net worth at $625 million, ranking you at number 21 on the Forbes list of Malaysia's richest. What is your definition of being rich? What is money to you? Like, is it a tool, a form of measurement, or status?
You know, and I know I'm on a Chinese radio station.
Yes,
Now you
yeah,
know.
we are.
And I didn't actually know that number you just mentioned.
Oh, really?
Look, money is nice to have. It's great to have. It's a facilitator, but it's not what drives me. What drives me is building things, creating jobs, doing things that everyone says can't be done. That's what I love, right? So buying Queen's Park Rangers was a disaster, right? We've been relegated, it looks really bad. But I love that challenge. I love it. You know, buying Liverpool would have been much easier, or buying Manchester United, but that's not me. I didn't create that success. So, yeah, money's nice to have. Let's not kid ourselves. But it's not what drives me. What drives me is doing things that people say can't be done, and building things.
Yeah, here is another interesting challenge. Let's talk about AirAsia's high-profile entry into India. Some may look at it as just one of the group's expansion plans, but to some Indians, it gives them the chance to fly. As you have said before, no driver who has ever driven you in India has ever been on the plane, and you want to change that.
Yeah.
Then there are those who believe that AirAsia's entry will play a very, very significant role in boosting the aviation sector in India in terms of marketing strategy, work ethics, efficiency, or even intellectual honesty. Do you agree, Tony?
Wow, what a great question. I've got to compliment you guys for doing your research. I love that bit. That's my dream, right? If a driver who picks me up at the airport one day will say to me, I flew, then I've achieved something. And that's more important to me than whether it will add me to number 18 or 17 to the Forbes list. I think we definitely will. I think we get ourselves in trouble sometimes by being honest. Every country I've been in, I speak what I believe. It upsets politicians, it upsets regulators, but I think at least we make a difference. The people benefit from our honesty. So I think we will make a difference. It will be damn hard because I think everyone will be out to get us in the industry. But we've always survived because people support us. People like what we do. We're phenomenal. We haven't even started a flight in India, but we're so popular. And let's see. I don't want to make any predictions because it never happened. It's better to go out there, just do it, and see if it works. But I think your statement has validity, and let's see whether I can make that statement.
Have you been to India? India?
No, not yet.
Oh, no.
Well, there
Neither
you
do
go.
I.
So I'll tell you what. Our first flight over there, you come be my guest.
Wow, okay.
Oh.
Melody FM goes to India.
Yeah, thank you, Tony.
Take a couple of your winners. We'll get you on the inaugural flight.
Okay, sorry, Tony. Apart from the etiquette, the flight being the first to India, we need a place to stay as well.
Hotel.
Accommodation.
This is how long have you been in Malaysia? You Malaysians. I know you're from Hong Kong, but you learn quick from your. You ask an inch, you take a mile. Give you a free ticket, but we'll give you a free room.
Yes.
Our partner owns lots of hotels, Tata.
Yes, and of course about Tune hotels.
Yeah.
We want to stay Tune
Tata.
Tata. That's the question.
Better.
Even better,
I
right?
love you more.
Thank you.
Tune hotels taking on Indian branded budget hotel chains like Ginger, Red Fox, etc. With the opening of 30 Tune properties in the next 3 years. Well, the mentioned competitors have really got a strong brand presence and they're also expanding. What then is your game plan? In terms of volume, speed, or package deals with AirAsia?
Oh, I think obviously they have an advantage in working with AirAsia. Mark has. But I suppose it comes down to the brand. Can we build something that's a little bit cooler, that's a little bit lower priced, and have a little bit of je ne sais quoi, a little bit of difference. So that's Mark's goal. He's done a great job so far. Mark was my co-host in The Apprentice, and I've known him for 40 years. So, he's built a good brand. Again, time will tell. It's not easy. The Indian market is not easy, but we're good at brand building. And I think Mark will do a good job. But the market is huge, right? There's 1 billion people there.
Yes.
I keep saying it's not about one airline or one hotel chain. They can be 3 or 4.
Okay, get that one more time. All right.
Yes.
flight and accommodation.
Done.
Melody FM to India with Air
Yeah,
Asia.
that would be cool, wouldn't it?
Yes, it will
No
be
one
very
would believe
cool.
that.
All right, apart from these big moves, what else do you have in the pipeline?
Well, I got two projects that are very dear to my heart. One is education. As I mentioned, everything's about people for me. I think education in Malaysia has got a little bit stagnated with fixation on A levels and O levels. I mean, getting A's and everything, right? And education is not just about exams. So I'm building a school called Epsom College, which is not far from here. And the goal of that school is to bring out the potential of a child in whatever they're good at, whether it's sport, whether it's art and drama, whether it's debating society, and give them the confidence to go out there and be the best in whatever they're good at.
Great
So,
people, like
yeah,
you
so,
mentioned.
so we open that next year, so that's something I'm really proud about. And then finally, one day, I'm not sure if I'll do it, but it's my dream, I want to have a low-cost hospital.
Wow.
Now, what does that mean? Does that mean that I'm going to charge you for the oxygen? Does it mean I'll give you half a pill? No, it doesn't. The state system is very hard. There's a long waiting list. It takes a long time because there's just too many people. It's very hard in any country. The private system's too expensive. So there's a lot of people who could afford a little bit more, but don't have that.
Would that be half subsidized or?
No, I think it's like Air Asia. Airlines were very expensive, but I came in and I learned from other people and I saw that there's better ways of making it cheaper. I think the hospitals and the dispensary system is very old-fashioned. It's very high cost, and if you take a lot of the cost out of the business, it will come down in price and lots of people can afford it. One simple rule: 80% of people who are sick have 20% of diseases. It's a common 80-20 rule. But hospitals will provide for everything, and hence there's a low utilization of equipment. Then the guy who just has a simple thing is paying for all the equipment that's there that may not be needed. So just simplifying the business, taking cost out, and making it affordable to a lot of people who can afford a little bit more, but can't afford the full private system, and allowing people to have good medical care. That was my dream. My dad was a doctor who was very communist, and believed in free medicine. So hopefully I can do something to make his dream come true.
We look forward to that.
Yes. Well, Tony, you shared your dreams with us. I'm sure there's a lot of dream chasers out there listening to our interview today and got very inspired.
Okay, before we move on to the next question, this is medical. How about health business? There is a reason to this question. With all due respect, Tony, we have received some comments on your appearance in the Apprentice Asia. It's like this. Perhaps it's time for Tony to hit the gym.
Yeah. You know, I would like to announce on Melody FM that I have hired a trainer,
Wow.
Oh, that's good news.
and I want to get biceps like Jake. So
Why? Because
he's gonna whack. You know, it was horrific watching me on TV and I looked like someone out of Star Wars, you know, with Jabba the Hutt.
Not too bad.
And I'm pretty determined to lose weight. It's been my biggest failure in my life. Food's great in Asia, right? Food's great.
Excuse me, is this part of the preparation for season 2?
Is it?
No, it's part of preparation of making sure I don't look like I was going to say something very rude on TV, on radio. Just looking better, man. I felt, I used to play a lot of sport. It's funny, my daughter went to my old school and she said, wow, you actually were good at sport. Right? I see your name everywhere. There's a cup named after you. And I thought, so you thought I was lying all these years when I said I was. So I want to get back and look better and be a bit healthier. It's a tough challenge, but food is great in this part of the world. You know, whether you go to Hong Kong, whether you go to China, whether you go to India, we have great food.
Okay.
So let's see, when I come back, when you come to India, when we launch, whether I've succeeded in losing a little bit of weight.
All right, cool.
We look forward to even fitter Tony.
Yeah, looking like both of you.
Thank you.
Okay, last but not least, can Tony share with us, some words of wisdom? We're very greedy. What you shared with us, very inspiring already. But some words of wisdom to all the people who are chasing their dreams.
Yeah, I think number one, follow your dreams. Don't let anyone tell you you can't do anything. Because my whole life, everyone's laughed at whatever I say. Imagine, I used to come to these studios pushing records, and then one day I said I was going to start an airline, and everyone laughed at me. But we did it. So don't let anyone tell you you can't do your dreams. And it doesn't matter if you don't succeed, try again. Because you don't want to sit there at 55 and say, I wish I did it. It's too late. We can press a rewind button in the studio and re-record it, but you can't re-record your life. You have one life. Go out there and live your life. If I get hit by a bus tomorrow, I've done everything I wanted to do.
No regret. Huh?
No regrets. Don't have regrets. Live it. It's your life. Don't let anyone tell you what you should do, and chase those dreams. And be the best. You know, as Malaysians, sometimes we waste our time on negativity. You know, be positive. Life's much more fun if you go out there and be positive and have fun.
It has been Tony Fernandes with Morning Boss. It was great chatting with you.
Yes, thank you
Thank
for being
you.
with us. But last but not least, let's put Tony to the test one more time.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Morning Boss, bossy 早晨.
Morning, boss. Bossy Chosan.
No, not good enough.
Yeah,
What
not
is it?
very qualified, huh?
Yeah, so you
You're
are fired.
Bye.
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you.